Hi, everybody. I'm James, and welcome back to Storytime with James. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. All right, this one's called I Quit. Yes, yes, I quit. I quit. It took me about 30 years, but I quit. You know, I did it, and it was the hardest thing to quit in my life. I had quit drinking, I had quit smoking weed, and it didn't affect me like this did. You know, look, I was about 22 years old, 22 years old when I started. Because at my job they had they used to give people who used to smoke extra breaks. You know, mm, sparkling water. This is a sparkling water, black cherry. Yeah, they used to give the smokers extra breaks. So all of my friends and everybody used to go out there to the smoking area to smoke. So I went out there with them to take an extra break myself. You know, I used to just get one break, one break, and one lunch break. That's it for me. That was it for me. But they got like breaks out, 3 or 4 breaks out of the day. So I went out there with them, and we were laughing. I was laughing. It was in the smoking area, and it was filled with smoke. But I wasn't smoking then. Until one day I was standing there talking to my supervisor. And then the manager came around. He said, "Oh man, here, take this." So I took it, and I had it in my mouth. Uh, he came in there talking to somebody, and then my partner lit it. And I look stupid too. Yeah. So I had it in my mouth, and it was smoldering in there like that. And then I finally took a drag, and I blew it out. So that's it. Then the manager left, and then I put it out and just resumed talking. The next day, again, the manager came in again, and and I this time when took a drag off of it, I ended up inhaling it, and instantly I got dizzy. Yes, man, I got so dizzy, got real dizzy. So I was like, man, this is crazy, man. I don't want none of that no more. So I went home, and then I was uh I was going with this girl who turned out to be my baby's mama. Okay, so I didn't know she was smoking because she hid it from me. So then one day I was sitting in there, and she went to the bathroom, and I was sitting in there, and in her purse I saw a pack come out. Her purse tipped over on the bed, and I was putting her stuff back in there, the little stuff that fell out of there, and then I saw a pack of cigarettes, and I said, "Wow." So she came back in there. I said, "Do you do something that I don't know about?" She said, "No, no, no, no." I said, "You smoke, don't you?" She said, "Yeah, I do, I do, I do." And she took them out. I said, "You can smoke around me. You go ahead and smoke if you want to." So she took one out, and she started to smoke. So we was in there talking and stuff. Then I said, "Let me get one of those. Let me get one of those." And I smoked one, a Virginia Slim. And it was long too. So I smoked the whole thing. But I got a little dizzy at first, but that was it. But by then, I started smoking a lot. Not a lot, but I ended up stealing a couple of my mother's cool cigarettes. I stole a couple of her cools, and that was it. That was it. So then I continued to smoke. This for a couple of years, maybe 2 years and stuff, and smoked for 2 years and stuff like that. And then I finally went out and got my own pack, a pack of Newports, Newport 100s, and that was the worst mistake in my life because those were they were kind of strong though, but but I could take it, So I smoked those Newports for like a couple of years, until it ended up a pack a day. I was smoking a pack a day. Then I ended up smoking a pack and a half a day. So now it was becoming really, really bad on me. And then I tried to quit. After like 10 years, I tried to quit. And I was craving cigarettes. I was craving it. It was really bad, that I had to have a cigarette. So after that, when I moved from Chicago to Memphis, okay? When I was here in Memphis, I continued to smoke, continued to smoke. But one day, a friend of mine he got kind of sick because he used to smoke. He got sick, and I said, "Hey, what's wrong, man?" He said, "Man, doctors, man, they got on me, man. They got on me." I said, "Yeah." I said, "For real?" He said, "Yeah. They told me to stop smoking." So I said, "Oh man." I said, "Well, you need to stop then." He said, it's easier said than done." I said, "Yeah, I hear you. I hear you." So I said, "Look, I tell you what. If you stop smoking, I'll stop. Okay?" So we ended up stopping, which I thought. I thought. So I was doing pretty good too, cause at work is the most times I used to smoke. So I said I quit. So I was kept checking on him, and he kept checking on me. Matter of fact, we made a bet: $20 for the if I catch him smoking, he had to pay me $20, and if he catch me smoking, I had to pay him $20. So we just was walking. Because my job then was walking around a lot. So I thought he had stopped. He really had stopped, because this was day 3, and I hadn't seen a cigarette, and I haven't smelled a cigarette on him, and he hadn't smelled none on me. So after that, I went up on the roof area, and I saw somebody's back facing outward. He didn't see me come out, and I walked up on him, and he turned around, and he said, "Oh man, you got me, man. You got me. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it." And I said, "Man, you went back to smoking again." He said, "No, I only smoke. I smoke. I cut back a lot. I cut back a lot." So he tried to reach in his pocket, tried to give me $20. I told him, "No, keep it, keep it." I tried to get you to stop, man. I tried to get you to stop with me, but it's okay. He said, nah, I can't do it, bro. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it. So we resumed this. Well, no, I told him keep the money, keep the money. Then gradually I started back smoking again, especially in the car on the way going home, especially on the way coming to work, especially when I got home. So it started getting real bad. So after he did that, you know, I got sick one day and I went to the doctor to get a checkup, and the doctor checked me up, checked my heart and stuff like that. He said, hey, he said, do you smoke? And I said, I was getting ready to say no. I was getting ready to tell him no. I was getting ready to tell him no. I said, uh, yeah, some occasionally. Occasionally. He said, no, no. Look, one of your seemed like one of your arteries is kind of clogged a little bit. So if you do smoke, if you do smoke, you need to stop. That's just how he said it. He said, you need to stop. He said, but hey, who am I? I'm just a doctor. I'm just telling you this will benefit you if you stop, okay? So he said that. I kind of blew it off. I was ready for him to get finished so I can go out and take a smoke. Yes, yeah. So then before I left, he said, now look, take heed to what I said to you. It'll be beneficial to you to stop now. Okay? That's just how he said it. He said, you can do what you want to do, but I'm telling you, it'll be beneficial for you to stop. Okay? So I went out onto the street, went out, and as soon as I got on the front, I took my pack out, packed it on my hand, and took one cigarette out. I had a fresh pack of Newport, and took it out. And I was looking for my lighter and stuff like that, and it was a dude coming past. He said, "Hey, bro," I said, "What's up, man?" I said, I left my light in the car, and I had to walk. I would have to walk all the way to the car to get it. But I wanted a cigarette now, so I said, "Hey, you got a light?" And he was a bum. He said, he gave me a light, and I lit it. I took a puff, and I got a little dizzy when I puffed it. And he said, "Give me, can I have a cigarette?" I said, "Yeah." So I took the cigarette I lit. I said, "Here." He said, "Thanks, bro. Thanks." And he started smoking off of it, and I said, "And here." He said, "What? Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you." I gave him the whole pack, and that's when I tried to stop smoking again. So I gave him the whole pack, and then I walked to the car and called it a day. When I got home, I only told one person at the time that I'm trying to stop smoking. But everybody else, they assumed that I still smoked. So hey, and I did keep smoking. So after that day, then I ended up getting my eye had I had to get surgery on my eye, because of detached retina. So when I was at the doctor, when I get my surgery and stuff, after I got my surgery and everything, it was like no room for me to get away and smoke a cigarette. So when I got home, I had to lay in a certain spot lay on my stomach lay on my side, lay on my back, and stuff like that. So when I got home, I was so messed up from the anesthesia that I went home and I slept a whole day. A whole day. Then I woke up. When I woke up, only thing I could do is go to the bathroom and back in the bed, back to sleep again. Then I wake up, then eat a little something, and then back in bed. Well, I kept falling out, man. That's how that anesthesia took to wear off. You know, it was a long process, you know. So anyway, it ended up 3 days of that, you know, me sleep and getting up and sleeping and getting up, sleeping till on the fourth day I got up. I didn't think about cigarettes. I didn't think about cigarettes, but they say it takes 3 days for nicotine to get out of your system. It take 3 days for it to get out your system. But I think I slept 3 days, you know. So after that, when I started getting better, when I started walking around and stuff like that, and the anesthesia had wore off and stuff like that, I was out in the yard. So I was trying to rake up the yard, rake some of the stuff up in the yard, and I went into the garage, you know. And in the garage, I saw one cigarette. It was like this too. It was like almost just like a couple of puffs was taken off of it, and it was a Newport too. So I went back in the house, looked in the drawer, and found some a little box of matches. And I went back out and and I took a puff off of it. And instantly it got me super dizzy. To the point I put it right out. Put it right out. But I went back out the next day. Got that same cigarette. Took the match. Then that's when I decided not to do it no more. Not to do it no more. So that was it then. No more. No more. And so I went to the car. I cleaned my car out totally. The ashtray, I took the whole ashtray out of the car. Took the whole ashtray out and threw it in the trunk. Because I didn't want nothing to remind me of it. But after that, that was it. No more smoking, you know. Look, it may be hard, but cigarettes is the hardest thing that I've done. The hardest thing to quit doing, you know. I'm here to tell y'all that y'all can do it too. If you're smoking right now, you may be smoking and watching this right now. I see you. I see you. You may be smoking right now. You can stop. You can. All you have to do is put your mind to it. You know. Put your mind to it. Just say, I don't want them no more. And throw the pack. You got to get the whole pack out of the house, out of your reach. Because if you got one around, temptation is gonna rule you, you know. You're gonna take one and then you're gonna smoke, you know. Yeah. But for health reasons, it's better that you stop now. I don't care how long you've been smoking, maybe 40, 50 years, you know. Stop smoking. Stop doing it. Your health is dependent on it, you know. And I know you want to be able to get out and walk upstairs and walk and stuff like that. And you don't want to have breathing problems. You don't want to get emphysema, CPOD. So it's best that you quit now. Right now. I'm talking to you with that cigarette in your hand now. Put it out. Put it out. Just let it alone. Right. Okay now. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave me a comment if you like. And hit that bell notification. Hit that bell notification so that you know every time I drop another video. And share, share, share. Share my videos with your family. Share my videos with your friends. Share my videos with your loved ones. And even share it with your enemies. Alright. Peace. Adios. Salamat. Right now.